Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. And we have here 2011 C63 AMG, and I'm gonna show you how to do a transmission service on this car. And the way you start is you need to get this shield out, the second shield, and it has about 7-8 of these bolts in those different positions, and you leave the first shield in the car because the second one is under here, under the front one, under the back of the front one. And this is the oil pan that we need to take out. And before we can take it out, I was trying to, you're supposed to drain the oil first through this nut, but the drain plug doesn't want to open. I'm about to strip the torque, the Torx, so I'm just gonna leave it there, and I'm gonna open the pan and just drain it through the pan. It may be a little bit of a mess, I don't have a choice. And before I can take these inverted Torx, I need to take this shield, the cable, the transmission cable shield, and it has this T30, and I already took it out. And you just pull this shield down, and you need to push it up to get it out of the way. And this is it, you leave it here, and then this needs to be out of the way a little bit. And all you have to do now is you need to start taking these apart. Okay, we have something of another shield here, so we need to see where the shield is attached to, because this needs to come out too, or needs to be out of the way. Okay, so it just moved, so I need to find, probably has a second bolt here. And okay guys, so what the problem here is this sprocket is held by that bolt right there, and it's actually a connector for a ground, and you have to get it loose. I'm not gonna take it off because it looks like I just need this space here to clear, and in the back here, so when I'm installing the pan back, I don't have this in my way. You can actually bend this metal back a little bit, and we can bend it back when we install it. It's not a big deal, it won't hurt it. And in order to get to this bolt, you're gonna have to use a swivel and this inverted Torx, 12 E12 inverted Torx. So just get it loose, don't take it off. And now we can start taking the pan out. Again, in my case, I'm not gonna open this because it's almost stripped. I didn't do it. I believe this has been sitting there for a long time, meaning that they haven't done a transmission service in a long time, and it's kind of stuck. So I would rather not strip it right now and open it and see if I need it. If I don't need it, then I'll leave it alone. Well, I'm gonna start opening these, and I'm gonna get to the back, possibly either the front or the back, so I can release the oil. Okay, the actual bolts can be taken out with this E10 inverted Torx, but in my case I found easier to use just a simple 8mm socket, and that's how I'm gonna get the oil pan out. This 8mm. and I'm gonna let the oil out, and then I'm gonna take the oil pan out. Okay, remember that you have the filter here, and you're gonna have some stuff in the oil pan, some oil. So drain it as much as you can. Then you're gonna need to clean the oil pan. But the filter, when you take it off, you're gonna have some more fluid coming out too. Okay, well, what we're gonna need to do here is we're gonna need to clean the edges, the aluminum edges, and we need to try to use a little bit of some towels, clean towels, and kind of damp this or get the oil out of this, the bottom side of the valve body, so it doesn't drip when you're installing it. Because the new seal needs to make a dry contact with the transmission, and this is the oil pan that we got out. So what we need to do is, you got a couple magnets here that you need to remove when you're cleaning this, and this is the old seal right here, and we have the new seal right there in a package. This is the kit right here. It's Hengst EG841H D4449, and that's Hengst. If you have another version, I'm sure that you can buy different kinds. So in this case, we're installing this kit, and now I'm gonna go and start cleaning this oil pan, because we need this to be completely dry and clean. And you need to clean the magnets. You need to take them out and clean them, because they're gonna have metal shavings on them. And once you clean this completely dry, you need to take this off too. That's the leveling tube. It just clips out like this. There we go. And then we clean everything, get it dry, and get it ready. And then I'm gonna clean this with a with a little metal brush, and then with brake cleaner. The oil pan needs to be cleaned with brake cleaner. Okay guys, once you drain the oil from the differential, you need to install the plug back, and I just installed it back actually, and just need to remove this Allen. And the fill plug is on the driver's side actually, right here, and you need to use the same 14mm Allen and take it out. And what we're going to do now is we're going to use a electrical pump. We're going to install the new oil. The specification on this oil is 75W140, and I think it's going to take about 1.2 quarts, I believe. But anyway, this is what I'm going to use. I'm going to set it up in a second so I can start pumping it back in. Okay, one is in, so I get ready with the second one. If you can, get a bottle, the empty bottle with a funnel, because it's going to overflow. Whatever overflows, you want to catch it with this bottle here. So I'm going to set it up right under the hole, the filling hole. And I'm going to start with the second bottle, but be ready because it's not going to take a lot. I think it's like 1.2. Okay, it's leaking now, and you have to remove the filling holes here, and let it drip. want to close it now. It's pretty close. Okay, and that's the whole procedure. I just need to get the wrench and close this and get it tight, but that's the whole deal with changing the differential fluid. So it's not a big deal. It's pretty easy to do. You can do it with a manual pump or electrical one. Again, 2011 Mercedes C63 rear differential fluid change replacement. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like my videos and please subscribe. Thank you. Okay, guys, before we can install the pan back again, you should have cleaned it by now, so it has to be ready. This is how the kit comes. The kit comes with the filter and the gasket. So you need to open this filter, and the filter needs to be installed on the valve body. And I'm gonna get the oil pan now to install the gasket, the new gasket. Okay, guys, the oil pan should look like this, very dry and clean. And you need to install the clean magnets back in, and they are placed right here. And now we need to install the new gasket, and it's the one right here. I need to, yeah. Okay, don't forget that you have to clean the level tube, is what it's called. And I had some hard time getting this drain plug, so I had to use like an impact gun to actually hit it hard, because I was trying to use the manual wrench and it was about to strip the threads or the Torx. So I'm gonna leave it here, and then I'm gonna get it tight. I need to change the gasket, of course. It has a copper gasket, so you need to install this back after you clean it, the two magnets. And now we're going to get this this gasket, and it only goes one way, so you can't really make a mistake. And remember, it has these little locking pins right here, so it's made so it doesn't come out. And you need to get it here, then you need to press the pins into the holes right here, so they lock and it doesn't go away. And whatever you see the pins, they need to be locked. Okay, right here, and just lock it on the outside first. That's the holes right there. Once you lock it, then you can press it on. There we go. And then the one here. And once you install this, make sure the surface is very, very clean. Also, before you install it, you're gonna have some leaks still from the valve body, but make sure there is no oil on the aluminum part where the seal is gonna touch. It needs to be dry. I cannot emphasize that this is the most important thing. It needs to be it needs to be just completely dry. So run a rag before you install it, and of course we need to put the filter first. Okay. And now we can install the filter. You need to actually grease up a little bit the seal so it helps it to go in. Just use part of the old oil. And it goes in a very specific position. So okay, I actually ended up putting some grease because it didn't want to go in. So once you grease it up, you need to push it, and it needs to go all the way in. Okay, it just went in. You're gonna feel it when it goes in, and make sure the filter is in a straight line with the valve body. You can see here that it's got the same distance, because that's where it's gonna click when you install the pan back. It's just gonna go up and click right here, or not click, but there's a guide, and that's why the guide needs to be in place. And yeah, just make sure this is all the way in. If it doesn't go in, just grease it up, and it's gonna kind of hang a little bit. Don't worry about it. As long as it's in the correct place, it'll go back in. And now we're going to install the fan. And what's going to happen is you're going to need to install it with the back end first because of the subframe right here. So make sure it goes in the back first, and then get this bracket out of the way, and then install it here. Grab a couple of the holding nuts or bolts. And you need to get the other one in. Okay. And I'm gonna keep installing the other mounting bolts. And Remember the one that has the additional metal mount for the chute is on this side, and what I'll do is I would push this first and then I'll start the bolt by hand. And I'm gonna release just the bolts a little bit so I can kind of guide it. I need to make sure it's inside the lines here. Okay, looks fine. And now I'm gonna start tying from the middle. And then I'm gonna go to the corners. So these are supposed to have, of course, you're gonna ask torque specifications, but I don't like torquing these because they're not new bolts, and the torques I've seen, the torque guidance that I've seen from Mercedes is actually crazy, and I think it's just, I don't want to risk breaking a bolt. So I'm gonna tie this as much as I can by hand, and I've never had problems doing this procedure by hand. So it just, the rubber right now, the gasket is kind of giving up and trying to settle in. So all you have to do is just, you need to do a few turns to tighten these as much as you can. See, they can go a little bit more. See, it's already clicking very, very tight. That's gotta be, I'm probably pushing about 40 or 50 Newton meters. And I think that's going to be, that should be enough. Let's try to check all the bolts. And just make sure to check this gasket in the back with your fingers, because I had a situation with a COS that I couldn't see, and the gasket had come out a little bit, and when I installed the oil it started leaking. So always check these back sides because they're really tight, and sometimes the gasket will catch on this little corner here when you're installing it, so it'll come out of place. But once this is tight, actually these, you can see these, the pins that we pushed in, they're actually kind of fits straight in. They push themselves into these into the holes. So here we go, we got everything tight. Now we need to install the oil. Okay, don't forget that you need to get the shield back down so you can put it in the hole. And once you get it, there's a clip right there where the shield needs to go. So as you can see, there's a metal clip right there. It's right back there, and the shield goes underneath right there. And once you get it in, you need to guide this hole right here and the other one on top so we can install the bracket. And remember, this is the T30 Torx bolt for the bracket. And on the other side, we need to tie the bolt that holds the bracket. And right here. And make sure you align the ground back over, and the oxygen sensor wire here, and you need to push this back in there like this, and it should be okay. Make sure this is in, and okay, everything is in. And at this point, we need to start filling the oil. Okay guys, I'm setting up the machine. I need to install the adapter, and the oil we're gonna use for this transmission is this Pentosane full synthetic ATF, and the model right here is 1088117, and we're gonna use 4 of these because we got 4 out, and then we may use a little bit of the old one to level if it needs more. And this is the adapter that I need to get all the way in, and once it's in, I need to plug my filling machine, and there we go. And I'm gonna start filling the bottles. Okay, you do this until you fill the 4 quarts or 4 bottles, and then we need to do another step to check the level. Okay guys, actually I'm going to install 5 bottles, and then we're going to start the car and we're going to check the level. So I'm going to install the 5 now. This is the 5th, and then I'm going to start the car. Okay, what you guys need to do is, the last step to check the oil level is you need to start the car. You need to wait a little bit until the transmission gets warm, and also inside the car, before you get out of the car, you need to go through the gears and stay in each gear for about 3 seconds. So parking, reverse, neutral, drive, and then back 3 seconds. You can do this about 3 or 4 times to get the oil throughout the whole, all the places inside the transmission and the gears. And now it's been running for a little bit, so it's pretty warm. So remember, I installed 5 quarts. We got 4 out, so since that level dipstick is here, that's what is going to let us know how much oil is going to come out. So I'm going to open the adapter here, and I'm going to let the oil out. Okay, that's why you need to do this procedure, because now it took a little bit extra. It's more than 4 quarts. And once you start dripping like this, you can actually open the adapter and I got the new I got the plug with the new gaskets, and I'm gonna close it up because this thing is ready. Remember, always change these gaskets. And this is a copper one, and I installed a brand new copper one. The best gasket you can use is only copper. And all you have to do is get it tight, and then clean after yourself, of course. Always clean after yourself, and install the rear shields that is over there with the bolts. and that's the whole procedure. This should be done about every 30,000 miles, 30 to 40,000 miles, depending on your brand and car. And usually these maintenance schedules are in your manuals of the vehicle. So again, there was a transmission oil and filter change or fluid change on this 2011 Mercedes C63 AMG. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like my videos and please subscribe. Thank you.